Do you think you know more about the EFL than not the top 20s, Ali Maxwell? I don't, but go on, try and prove it. Ali, your mind is absolutely full of EFL knowledge, and my YouTube comments claim to be full of EFL knowledge, but I wonder whether you might take them on here. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and we're going to invite the audience to see if they can outscore you. How does that sound?
Terrifying, but exciting.
Right, what I want you to do if you're watching along with Not the Top 20s, Ali Maxwell, open a comment now and hit pause after I've asked every question. Stick your answer in. This does require some degree of honesty, okay? So don't cheat. Let's start off. Question 1. According to Who Scored's data, which of these 3 championship players has most assists this season? Is it Ken Sema of Watford, Ilias Chair of QPR, or Matt Grimes of Swansea? Get your answers in below before Ali answers. That's Ken Sema, Ilias Chair, or Matt Grimes. Weigh in.
I'm going to go with Ilias Chair. I know that his shot-creating actions and his key passes are incredible. I also know that QPR have barely scored a goal for the last few months, and he's been injured for a lot of that time. But I'm going to back the start of the season that he had to have been good enough to get above Sema and Grimes. So I'm saying Ilias Chair.
Matt Grimes has 7 assists. Ilias Chair has 7 assists. Ken Sema has 8 assists. Would you believe that? Let's go number 2. This is early birds. This one's a bit of a filthy one, Ali. In last season's playoffs, which team scored the earliest goal in any of the 15 games? Was it Jack Colback, Forest in the Championship semi, Elliot Embleton for Sunderland versus Wickham in the final in League One, or James Wilson for Port Vale against Swindon in the League Two semi-final second leg?
I think James Wilson's goal.
Get in there. James Wilson, 8 minutes into the second leg. Jack Colback, 10 minutes. I'm sure you remember the game, Ali, because they'd already missed 2 big chances by then. It could have been,
crazy.
Started like an absolute house on fire. Embleton's in the final.
So excited for the playoffs, mate. You've just made me so excited for the playoffs.
Stop it.
Nothing better.
12 minutes into the final. I have to say that kind of killed the game when Sunderland took the lead in that. They've won at that point, hadn't they? But there we go. Ali, question 3. According to Transfermarkt's data, which of these 3 clubs has the highest attendance this season? Championship Swansea, League One Charlton, or League Two Bradford?
That's a really good question. I think Bradford are like high teens. I don't think Charlton will be averaging that. I've been there quite a few times and it seems half empty most weeks. Swansea's really difficult for me to nail down, but I'm going to go with Swansea.
Oh, you were so close up until the last point. It is Bradford, 17,701, according to Transfermarkt, in League Two, which is ludicrously high. Keep typing your answers in. Ali, according to Who Scored's data, which of these 3 League One players has the most goals this season? Is it Conor Hourihane of Derby, Cameron Brannigan of Oxford, or Barry Bannon of Sheffield Wednesday, the 3 mercurial midfielders in League One? Hourihane, Brannigan, or Bannon?
I think that great friend of our pod, Conor Hourihane, might be one above the other 2. I think he might have 4 or 5. I can't think of more than 4 Brannigan or Bannon goals.
Barry Bannon has 5. Conor Hourihane has 7. Cameron Brannigan has 8. And they all must have come in the first 3 months because I can't remember him scoring for a while. But
was his 4 penalties in a game? No, that was last season, wasn't it?
Gillingham, wasn't it?
Fair play, Cameron.
Last Christmas, yeah. Here we go. Which of these 3 EFL managers is the youngest? Nigel Pearson, John Coleman, or everybody's favourite Steve Evans?
That's an excellent question. I think it's... Like John Coleman was still playing a lot later than people realise. I think it might be John Coleman.
Steve Evans is 60. John Coleman is also 60. Nigel Pearson is 59.
No.
These are
I shouldn't
absolutely devilish questions, please, in the comments. Right.
I've been to his
Specialist.
house,
Have you
Nigel Pearson.
actually?
Yeah, I've been to his
Sensational.
house. Lovely
Um,
house.
which two seasons combined plundered the most goals for these players? Teemu Pukki of Norwich in the two championship seasons, 18-19 and 2021. Johnson Clark Harris of Peterborough in his two League One seasons. Remember, he hasn't finished this current League One season, but he already has a pretty hefty total. So 2021 and 22-23. Or Owen Doyle of Swindon and kind of Bradford through 1920 and 2021. Pookie, Clark Harris, or Doyle. And I do acknowledge Clark Harris hasn't finished the season.
Yeah, I think that I'd be astounded if it's Doyle. And I think that Pookie is the answer.
You are correct. 55
God.
goals in his first two championship seasons, which is
Yeah.
absurd. Clark Harris will probably beat that. He's on 53 for these last two League One seasons.
Mhm.
I know you'll love this one. According to Infogol, by how many have Burnley overperformed their attacking XG this season? Is it 9.6, 12.6, or 15.6 goals?
Definitely going for 15.6 goals. The amount of times that they've scored like 4 from 1.5 xg. I'm going 15 point whatever.
You are correct. 58.4 xg for 74 goals. Unbelievable scenes. Although I think Blackburn are fairly close in their ridiculous overperformance, aren't they? Geography, Ali, which of these EFL grounds is furthest north? Burnley, Fleetwood, Harrogate.
Harrogate.
Oh, he's on fire. Is that 3 in a row? That is sensational. I tried to make that as hard as possible. That Ali, they're literally like that on the map.
yeah. Okay. Yes, get in.
Value for money. The three championship top scorers, 2 more to go, by the way, contracted to clubs, so no loanees, are Chuba Akpom, Victor Gyökeres, and Carlton Morris. Which one was the cheapest signing? Akpom, Gyökeres, or Morris?
It's a great question. The issue for me is I don't know what Akpom's transfer fee was.
I'll help you. He came from PAOK Salonika to Middlesbrough pre FFPL.
Okay.
Which may be a clue.
Well, that does sound like a clue. Okay, I'm going to go for Victor Gyökeres.
And you are again correct. 1.2 million euros. Carlton Morris, 2 million euros. This is according to Transfermarkt. I haven't seen a deal memorandum. Don't hit me up in the comments. Akpom, 3 million euros, apparently, from PAOK. So under Neil Warnock, would that be right?
I can't remember who was in charge when with Borough.
No. Right, last one, Ali. I call this May Madness. Alfie May scored probably the best double you're ever going to see in the EFL this season for Cheltenham at Peterborough. According to FootMob, what was the combined XG of the 2 goals? So one was just inside the opponent's half, and the other was a very swish half volley. Is it 0.06, 0.09, or 0.12 XG? And I think you can guess what the XG of the first one was.
Yeah, interesting. It's about 18 to 20 yards out, central-ish. So it's basically, is that 0.11, 0. I'll go for the middle one. I can't remember the exact number, but I'm going to go for the middle one.
Yes, well played. 0.09 was the correct answer. Obviously, the first one was 0.01. Ali, how did you find that as I add up your score?
I'm really, really relieved that I think I squeezed off 6 in a row to finish, because that was a poor start.
So you got the James Wilson one right, didn't you? That's 1. I think, did you get the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? He did get 5 in a row at the end. He's come strong. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, like Nottingham Forest under Steve Cooper
Lovely.
there at the end
Spot on.
with 6 correct. And honesty is a great virtue. I'm sure that's not a saying, but let us know how you get on in the comments. If anybody in the known world thinks that they can beat Ali Maxwell at that, what we'll do is you can prove it. We'll get him back on and you can take him on face to face, and we'll see whether you're
Oh, that'd be fun.
telling the truth or not.
Any future quiz content, please bear me in mind. I love it.
Legend. Ali, can you give the podcast and the new YouTube channel a quick plug?
Yes, NTT20 or Not the Top 20 in your ears on the YouTube. Now a newsletter as well on Substack. So if you, which I think you do, if you're watching Ben's channel, if you love the Championship as much as we do, League One and League Two as well, please do get involved. We'd love to have you listening to us or watching us as well.